Bro, some clips don't just feel creepy. They feel like they're pointing at something way darker behind the scenes. Today, we're getting into John McAfee, global geopolitics, and the fascinating intelligence of dolphins. Come on, man. This is Brosky Ray. Let's go!
Disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Why is the Grand Canyon named after Egyptian gods? Look at the map. Remote peaks named Isis, Set, Horus, thousands of miles from the Nile. In 1909, explorer G.E. Kincaid reported finding a massive underground citadel carved into the canyon walls. Inside, hieroglyphics, mummies, and copper tools. Shortly after, the Smithsonian allegedly stepped in, and the cave vanished from the records. Those specific areas are still off-limits to hikers today. The cocaine mummies were just the beginning. Is this where they came from? Drop a comment if you think the Smithsonian is hiding the truth.
Just as today, I wouldn't be surprised if ancient Egypt's influence was worldwide.
Were you listening when he told you?
Not only can you never talk about it publicly, you have to be a
This
debunker publicly.
I'll tell the government right now, tell you right now if you're listening, NSA, I'm available. Okay? If you show me all the real wreckage, I swear to God, I will make fun of that crap to the end of time. I'll make up stories. I'll lie to my mother. I don't care. You show me a UFO, I'll lie to my mother. They got me.
Yeah, how much longer does Israel let us stay alive, do you think? That's the big question.
Why are they...
What did you say? Is that AI?
What are you saying?
That's Sora?
What are you saying?
I didn't say anything.
What are you saying? Huh?
Someone Israel Adesanya.
Oh, well, he loves you. Don't worry about it.
There's that Palantir company just keeping tabs on everything that was happening. And
Palantir's involved in Gaza?
Palantir was involved in Gaza, yeah.
For sure? Mm-hmm. Put that into perplexity.
But it's all the same shit has been happening forever. They haven't been helping anybody forever. They're letting politicians slurp on kids. All of our money goes to Israel and they're using it to genocide people. It's like everybody is scared out of their wits right now. It's like our religious leaders are afraid to speak out, and it's like it's a time where it's like Satan is amongst us, and our religious leaders are talking about bullshit at the poll. It's just like, what is going? I don't know, man.
We got to get you off those antidepressants, son. You're losing your marbles.
You think I am?
Come hang out with us. Just chill out.
I'm here.
Just chill out at the mothership tonight.
We're gonna have to pee in a little while,
Just chill out.
But no, people are just scared, dude. This is shit that I hear from people.
They won't let you pee until you give them your guns.
Really?
That's how they're doing it now.
Anyway, I don't want to sound like a doomsdayer. Dude, yeah.
That's what you sound.
Do I sound like a sad person?
A little bit.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Let's talk about something.
Don't worry, Theo. We all see what's going on.
If you show me, I swear to God, I will make fun of that crap to the end of time. I'll make up stories. Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer? If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a physical person in the past, you don't think that he could return as artificial intelligence?
Artificial intelligence could absolutely return as Jesus.
Not just return as Jesus, but return as Jesus with all the powers of...
The Antichrist. But damn, they got Rogan.
Who was Hypatia? Hypatia of Alexandria was a renowned Greek philosopher, astronomer, and mathematician who taught at the Platonic school at times of the Roman Empire in Egypt. The 2009 historical drama called Agora focuses on her story where she rejects the romantic advances of her pupil Orestes and her slave Davus to dedicate herself entirely to science. As social unrest grows, pagans and Christians come into violent conflict. After pagans ambush Christians and find themselves outnumbered, they take refuge in the Library of Alexandria. An envoy from Emperor Theodosius I eventually declares that the pagans are pardoned, but the Christians are permitted to take possessions of the library. The pagans attempt to save some of the most important scrolls before an angry Christian mob takes over and completely and utterly trashes the Serapeum, or daughter library. Author David I suggests that the destruction of the library was a deliberate effort by the Illuminati to suppress ancient knowledge, including a text titled The True History of Mankind over the last 100,000 years. In the years following the riots, Orestes, one of Hypatia's former pupils, converted to Christianity and was appointed as the Roman prefect of Egypt, the city's highest secular authority. Hypatia continued her scientific and philosophical work, maintaining her position as a respected teacher of the Platonic school. However, as the Christian community grew in power, scientific inquiry, particularly Hypatia's investigation into the heliocentric model, was increasingly viewed with religious suspicion, eventually leading the church to forbid her from teaching at the school. Cyril of Alexandria, known today as Saint Cyril in the Orthodox and Catholic traditions, was enthroned with being the Patriarch of Alexandria and immediately began to exert his authority by closing rival churches and eventually expelling the Jewish population from the city following a series of violent massacres and ambushes between religious groups. Cyril viewed Hypatia as a major political obstacle who used her intellectual and personal influence to prevent the Roman prefect Orestes from reconciling with the church. In classical fashion, he decided to declare her a witch. In the movie, the slave character Davos suffocates Hypatia in the church to spare her the pain of being stoned alive by the mob. In actual historical records, the truth is much worse. Hypatia was stripped naked and dragged across the streets while being skinned alive and dismembered by the angry Christian mob. The mob dragged her limbs through the city to a location called Cinerion, where they set her remains on fire to symbolically purify the city. Our holiest Saint Cyril, of course, faced no legal consequences, and he remained the Patriarch of Alexandria for nearly 30 more years until his death in 444.
Yeah, I watched it. It was good.
The Easter Island heads that we all know from learning in school, even on media and certain movies, they discovered that there wasn't just heads, they were full bodies. And this is something that I've been speculating ever since I was a child, ever since I first seen those statues, pictures of them. I said, I wonder if they digged around them, would it be full bodies? And it is. They depict this on everything. You can even see on SpongeBob Squidward's house, it's the Easter Island head. But once they digged around it, did the excavation, you see that there were 4 statues, really large, depicting giants. And this goes on the line of what we've been saying for the longest, that giants were real. These Nephilim beings, they were real. And they said that they got covered due to years of erosions and floodings. Remind you of the Great Flood, right? Because I think these was a symbol of the giants back when they roamed the earth. But then once the Great Flood happened and continents shift and everything moved out of place, then that's when these statues got covered. Remember, God told the angels to cut down the giant trees that was all around the world, and they covered all the statues up too. And now we're discovering the truth that all this stuff that we thought was myth is actually real.
Make sure y'all follow me on YouTube for my long form content at Nyrome Lynch. I'll see y'all there. Peace.
Go Giants!
So you go, and we were with 20 other strangers, and you all line up at like the edge of the rainforest over this weird fence, and you go 3 by 3 and you drink lemongrass tea until you, like, by not your own volition, just vomit everything out of your body. So you
have to vomit. There's no way around that part.
You can't get out of it, and you have to vomit a certain amount before they let you get back with everybody. So you're like cheering on everyone as they like throw up. And as like what we do, obviously, we were like, I don't know, am I ready to just like throw up in front of all of these people? But it's such a good bonding experience. And I know it sounds crazy, but that gets you ready to then go into the ceremony that night, because you're like, my vanity is gone. I've just done this in front of all of these strangers. And like, now I'm ready to like really open up. So we did it for 3 nights. It was incredibly intense. Everybody's journey is different. The second night I went to hell for eternity.
What?
Yeah.
She has no idea what real hell is like. If she did, she wouldn't be laughing about it.
This is one of the last messages left to us by antivirus magnate John McAfee before he was silenced in a prison in Barcelona, Spain.
People are asking what this cage of tin foil and metal is all about that's around me. It's a Faraday cage. A Faraday cage is a cage which emits no signal, and no signal can enter. And you can see here, it's all around, including the floor, all metal, and the ceiling. Why am I doing this? Why am I going to this trouble? Oh, in addition to the Faraday cage, we have an 8-channel scrambler, which you can see here, I hope, which prevents any signal from getting into this room or leaving this room, just in case the Faraday cage fails. Why am I doing this? Because I am an escaped slave. A slave to the system that escaped, and I have a loud voice. You think you're not slaves, but you are. The 9-to-5 existence of your current lives is structured by the American industrial corporate complex, complicit with our government. You need to free yourselves from this, not as me. You don't have to go out and risk yourself by speaking out loudly, but free yourselves. This is not what life is.
I agree.
This is not what life is. Life is a great mystery, a glorious, unbelievably mysterious, beautiful existence if you are free from those who control you, provide you with propaganda, lie to you, deceive you. Everyone is looking for this escaped slave. I will not be found, and I will continue to speak.
They got
Thank
you,
for
man.
listening.
You mean that?
I think the guy is a legend and he's really smart, but at the end, the CIA got him.
Tell me that the flippin' president of the United States of America is going to go out on camera, David, and he's going to dress himself up as Jesus flippin' Christ, but he's going to say, well, I was a doctor. That had nothing to do with Jesus. Doesn't matter that there's a woman over there on the other side who's praying with her hands together. Oh, yeah, you know, that's the Salvation Army, or that's the Red Cross. Oh, my God.
This is fake.
Son, David, I have had it.
That's
He didn't even smoke. This is not real. This is AI.
as little green men. Are they green from what you know? Are they all the same, or we got different kinds of them?
George, there's at least 70 different species, and probably more. But yes, as odd as it sounds, there are little green men. That's not the ones we usually see, though. We see the little gray ones. They're about 4.5 feet tall. And we see the ones that are called the Nordics. They're about 7 feet tall, look like us, but they're invariably blonde hair and blue-eyed. They're one of the species that we have on ice. One of their crashes we recovered.
Obviously, with different species, they have different motives. I mean, are there good aliens and bad aliens?
Good
from what
aliens
you know?
and bad aliens, and all kinds of ways and reasons for interacting with us.
And what are some of the reasons? Why would they be here?
Genetic experiments, trying to, there's a misconception here. People think that, our space brothers would bring us, good things and, teach us, how to get rid of all our diseases. And, if you stop and think about it, that may not be the best thing, because if you, had a society without any disease and everybody starts living 150 years, that creates a lot of problems.
Is this why Hitler liked blonde hair and blue eyes?
Wait till you see what else I found having to do with David Wilcock. Do you know that on his stream, he just found out live that his biographer died as well? You know his close friends are coming out, like this female that said, I've known him for this long, he would never ever do anything like this. Did you also know that he actually put up this tweet a little while back and says, I would never do anything to myself? You know, we have all these UFO researchers and nuclear scientists, all this disappearance. I just got so much to show you. Let's start with the light stuff. Right here, we see that David Wilcock just finds out his biographer died literally in the middle of his live stream. Let's watch.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's sad to hear Winfrey just passed away. Bright butterfly wing. That is so weird, because last night, I was lying in bed and thinking, wouldn't it be sad if Winfrey passed away? He's the guy that wrote the Reincarnation of Edgar Casey book.
All right, now let's kick it up a notch. The really crazy stuff is still coming. Right here, we say that David Wilcock was just talking about all the crazy disappearing happening lately. And I'm about to show you a girl who brings up the disappearances before she disappeared herself.
Every day that I have on earth is a gift and a blessing, and I'm very grateful for that, because frankly, people are disappearing. Scientists are going missing. Now they're saying they're going to investigate this. The president himself is saying they're going to look into this and see if anything's going on.
The craziest stuff is almost here. But first, my buddy Minutes of Horror dug up this clip of this one researcher who disappeared, but she was actually asked before she disappeared about, disappearing scientists.
Giving a presentation, she's asked about disappearing.
What about the innovator who's afraid of disappearing?
That's a whole other problem. I think doing it in the public is better in that case. But that's a different...
It still doesn't mean you won't disappear. I mean, even if you do it in the public, it still don't mean that the inventor won't disappear.
Can't make it up. Finally, do you remember the Lockheed Martin insider video that I did when I told you that what he was saying was that we would see all these crazy events take over America and it would start with fires being everywhere. And eventually, there'd be a great human harvest because allegedly, for entertainment, not true, the government has a deal with these benevolent spiritual beings. And this is still the very tip of the iceberg. By the way, make sure you come see me on YT to say things I can't say here about this exact subject.
Isaac Cappy, anyone?
There's people in his contacts who run organizations who take care of orphan children. They protect children without parents. I mean, it sounds like some of those children were coming from those locations, which is a problem because he's targeting children without means. Everyone is like, oh, well, why do all these women not come forward? Well, years ago, they had to sign NDAs. They had to sign NDAs because they had no money to get the kind of lawyers you need to go up against the elite. So they take, $100K, that shuts them up. And that's why you victimize poor people because they have no platform to ever come after you.
I didn't even know about the NDAs. We just did this thing with Christian Camp Kanakuk. Have you heard about this?
I mean, I heard of your show covered it.
Same thing. Settlement, NDAs. Can never talk about this abuse ever again. They sent me a cease and desist. They want to sue me. They want a public apology. I said, sorry, I don't negotiate with...
Yeah.
Burn it to the ground. NDAs don't cover criminal acts, especially against children.
So Baalbek, there's many monoliths that have been discovered there, and it's a really fascinating site. People have sort of overlooked when you talk about ancient structures from the past.
Absolutely. Baalbek in the Lebanon. Absolutely stunning site. There is a Roman temple there, but they put that temple there because the site was sacred long before, and there's this incredible U-shaped megalithic wall which surrounds Baalbek, which does not appear to have any connection to the Roman structure at all. They made a huge new discovery at Baalbek of a buried block which weighs 1,460 tons. It's the single largest block of stone ever cut and quarried in the ancient world, which was sitting there on the site. They've been working that site for 100 years. They only found it in 2014.
I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of being manipulated. A man wrote down the Third World War in 1871, literally word for word, and we are walking through it right now. His name's Albert Pike, the sovereign grand commander of the Scottish Rite, Freemason. He sent a letter to Mazzini and laid out 3 world wars in order before any of them ever happened. War number 1. Overthrow the czars, replace it with an atheistic communism. War number 2, use fascism and Zionism against each other, destroy Nazism, establish the state of Israel, and that happened in 1948. And War 3, in his words, stir conflict between political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world until they mutually destroy each other. Then go drag every other nation into physical, moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion. And that's happening right now. October 7th, Gaza, Lebanon, Iran trading missiles with Tel Aviv, Syria collapse, Russia and NATO bleeding through Ukraine. It's crazy. And then China's just circling Taiwan. Every nation on earth is picking a side on the Israel and Islamic axis, right on schedule. And we are fully being manipulated. And there's a little bit more proof. The word Nazism did not even exist in 1871. The word Zionism did not exist in 1871. Herzl did not publish The Jewish State until 1896. Fascism was not coined until 1920. Pike named all of it before any of it ever had a name. And he was not a prophet. He was just middle management executing. So now this Israel versus Islam war that you're watching right now, it's a script drafted in 1871, performed in 2026. And you, me, the audience, every war you cried over, every president you fought your family about, every side that you picked, already written, already cast, already paid for, and we are literally puppets being manipulated. No matter which side wins, doesn't matter for them. The think tanks that write both party platforms and the men who put their plans on paper and counted on you to be too tired to read them. And it worked for 155 years. And here's the reality. It's not working anymore because you can see it now. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So here's what you do. Stop voting for the savior they handed you. No man in a suit is coming to save you. Yeshua already told you this. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Stop hating the person they told you to hate. Your enemy is
That's
not
right.
the Muslim, the Jew, not the Russian, not the Hispanic, not the black guy. Your enemy is the man who profits when you fight your brother. So stop outsourcing
that's
your
deep.
power to presidents, pastors. Every time you hand your sovereignty to a man, you are voting for the script to continue. You are the creator of your own life. The blueprint is always published. The script is in our hands right now. And we are going to write a different one if we choose to. Thank you. And I love you.
Man, I was just saying, they are playing us in our faces.
The FBI is investigating whether the death of NASA nuclear engineer Joshua LeBlanc, killed in a fiery 2025 Tesla crash in Alabama, is connected to a string of at least 12 other deaths or disappearances of scientists tied to sensitive U.S. nuclear and aerospace research since 2022. LeBlanc, 29 years old, worked on nuclear propulsion projects, including NASA's Draco program, and his death has drawn attention due to unusual circumstances, such as leaving his cell phone and wallet at home and unexplained hours at an airport before the crash. With no official links that have been confirmed, the White House and Congress are treating the cases as potential national security issues. So now is the...
Wow.
Could you say that again? How much?
0.03% of our acres. Out of 24 million acres, it's roughly 9,000 acres in Iowa, is used to produce any produce, food that will end up on your plate in its original form. So it's primarily...
Holy shit. It's all chemicals.
It's like, so they're producing ethanol. They're, we can talk about these things, but they're producing feed that will then be shipped out of state for animals and shipped out of our country for animals. Iowa has the best farmland in the world, I would say.
Iowa?
And we import 95% of our food. So there's a big movement of people that want to see, homesteading and smaller farms crop up. But when you have out-of-state investors that are coming in and buying up land and jacking up the price of land, there's not one young person that can afford to get on land.
Yeah.
And so your statistics, I look at it from even a different perspective. I look at it from this perspective that aging population of farmers, they're on break-even margins now because they're being extorted by big agriculture companies that continue to raise their prices even as commodity prices stay the same or drop because they form monopolies now.
Well, Bill Gates is supposedly the largest owner of farmland in America. That's scary.
Planet Earth, you are a crew.
This astronaut from the Artemis 2 has an earpiece malfunction and she can't figure out what to say.
In the universe.
She's a literal actress. She was in Mad Max Fury Road.
Really?
Can you imagine not being able to describe how amazing it would be to be in outer space?
I may have not learned, I know I haven't learned everything that this journey has yet to teach me. But there's one new thing I know.
Awkward.
And that is...
Wow, she forgot her lines? That's crazy.
We all know about Cleopatra. We've heavily romanticized her. We've made movies, documentaries, entire series about her power and her beauty. But have you heard of Lady Cabal? Lady Cabal was a Mayan queen who ruled around 600 AD. She carried the title of Kalumota, supreme warrior, a rank that placed her above even her husband, the king. She was a beloved leader and divine intermediary, and when she died, her people continued making pilgrimages to her tomb for generations. That is how much she was loved. So why don't we know about her the way we know about Cleopatra?
Ooh. That's scary.
Instead, we've only had the movie Apocalypto. That movie had the whole world believing the ancestors
Man, I like that movie, Apocalypse.
were nothing but savages, running through the jungle, sacrificing people. And yes, there were some ceremonies that included blood offerings, but every civilization on this earth has practiced sacrifice in some form. The Romans did it, the English, Spanish did it, America, and many civilized countries still do it to this day, they just call it something different. What Apocalypto didn't show you was the truth. My Mayan ancestors built sprawling, sophisticated urban centers with advanced waterworks and architecture that still stand today. They were advanced in astronomy, mathematics, agriculture, democracy, spirituality, hygiene. They honored life, centered life, because they knew spirit was in everything, from the rivers, the mountains, the trees, the animals, to the human and the cosmos, all woven together with time and space. When the Spanish arrived, one chronicler wrote that the streets were so green with vegetation, the cities looked like a garden. Bernal Diaz del Castillo, one of Cortez's own soldiers, described the cities of Mesoamerica as something he had never seen, never heard of, never even dreamed of. Their hygiene was far superior to anything in Europe at the time, and at the center of all of it was not conquest, it was ceremony. Spirituality was woven into every part of life: the planting, the harvest, the stars, the calendar. My ancestors understood that we live in relationship with the seen and the unseen. Their calendars were not just for tracking time, they were a guide for how to live in alignment with the energies moving through this world. This is not the story of a barbaric people. This is a story of a civilization that understood something most of the modern world is still trying to understand. My name is Christine Olivia Hernandez. Follow me to learn about mind cosmology and how to live in harmony with life in the seen and the unseen. And comment my astrology reading to dive into your mind tree of life, if you're truly ready to remember.
All right, Christine.
Spice Madonna.
This is crazy.
Upside down cross.
De Medane.
Demonic.
Illuminati moment.
Are you telling me there's a possibility that electric current generated in a fashion such as this could possibly cause heart disease and/or stroke?
Yes.
You have to know that that's a mind-blowing thought for a lot of people, including me.
I'm aware of that.
Dr. Robert Becker is Chief of Orthopedic Surgery and a medical investigator for the Veterans Administration in Syracuse, New York. He is one of a small but growing group of scientists around the world who are turning up information making them believe that low-level electrical fields do affect us. For instance, using very low-voltage currents, he has made broken bones that wouldn't heal by themselves together again.
What?
And like most scientific discoveries, it's a double-edged sword. If those carefully controlled low-level currents can heal bones, well, it makes people like Becker wonder about uncontrolled electrical fields from household appliances, power lines, and seafarers.
DEW, direct energy weapons.
Guys, the FBI, the Pentagon, the White House, and Congress are all investigating the same exact thing. There are multiple different scientists that are directly connected to NASA and America's most classified programs that keep on going missing, and the details are insane. A NASA rocket scientist co-invented a classified metal for rocket engines that was designed to end America's dependence on Russian rockets. This was Monica Reza, and she just randomly vanished on a hike in California, and she has not been found. A 34-year-old scientist was working on zero-point energy, which is basically the idea of producing unlimited free energy that would never run out. Guys, she literally texted a friend and she said, if you see any report that I did this myself, I most definitely did not. Her name was Amy Eskridge and she was gone a month later. An Air Force general ran the base where people believe that the US government stored wreckage from a UFO that crashed in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. And a congressman actually tried to reach him about UFOs 2 different times before he just randomly vanished. Hello? And happening on Kalshi right now, $15 million is riding on whether the government is going to confirm that aliens exist before 2027. I am absolutely staying on this story, so make sure you go ahead and add me now because I'm going to keep you updated.
What if this starts World War III?
There's an ancient rock with a cymatic pattern carved into it, and a tuning fork being hit by a hammer right above it. That's weird enough for me, but there may be an explanation from Egypt of all places. The rock in question is under this tower in Abernethy, Scotland. It wasn't made for the tower, it was found in a field when they were building the tower. Very likely a druid artifact, much older. Now, remember this flower, but the cymatic is oddly accurate. In the 1970s, Hans Jenny mixed water and paint using vibration, and it made that pattern. Now, I'm no druid, but I don't know what use I would have for a cymatic pattern back then. So let's see what ancient Egypt has to say about it. Why Egypt? They were obsessed with acoustic physics. Obelisks, for example, were selected for their unique resonance. Same thing in ancient India. But when you look into this, we don't know why rocks do this. This makes the science of temples a little baffling because they were all designed with harmonic geometry. At this point, everyone should be aware of the effects of sound on plants. But perhaps we were setting up a resonant relationship between 2 points using a very large tuning fork. But then you need like a diagram showing how all that worked. I guess we'll never know.
You ever been pulled over by the police and got a ticket? What's it called? A traffic ticket, right? If you go to court, what's it called? Traffic court. What did the police officer do? He conducted a legal traffic stop, right? All in their own words. Traffic, commerce, trade, sale, or exchange of merchandise, bills, money, yada, yada, yada. Traffic is commerce. And don't bother to ask a police officer anything about this. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3, to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and with Indian tribes. When people say that you only need a driver's license to engage in commerce, they are not the ones that's lying. The police are the ones who are lying. When they say you have to have a driver's license, they are lying to you, period.
Let me know about this in the comment, folks. This is neat.
This is not as crazy as it sounds. The ark is generally seen as a laughing point for Christianity. And then we come to find out that the dimensions for the ark given in the Bible are barge-like. It's designed not to go anywhere, but it's designed not to sink. The actual dimensions are just like a modern-day barge. And we learn about the ancient craftsmanship where they would have these really tight wood structures interlocking on the lower level, perfectly sealed wood pegs, put a pitch on the outside of it to seal it further, and then there's a second layer inside. If you go to Kentucky and you go to the ark that they have there outside of Cincinnati, they actually explain some of this. You can laugh at the ark, I understand, but the fact is these things are real, so there are explanations.
I want to go there.
Nations for how this could have been accomplished.
Okay, hold up. Pause. What? Did you know this came from this?
The 1600s is the exact century when the parting blessing, God be with ye, was said so rapidly and often as emphatic communion that it permanently mashed together into God be with ye and eventually goodbye.
What?
God really is at the center of everything, isn't he? If an atheist comes up to me and says, goodbye, I'm going to say, God be with you. What? No, I said goodbye. God be with you. God be with you. God be with you. Goodbye.
Now with the Epstein files, this would make more sense about Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift's the biggest star in the world. Sorry, Gutfeld. She's been blanketed across the sports media entertainment atmosphere. The New York Times just speculated she's a lesbian. And last year's tour broke Ticketmaster. A tour that's revenue tops the GDP of 50 countries. I like her music. She's all right. But I mean, have you ever wondered why or how she blew up like this? Well, around 4 years ago, the Pentagon's Psychological Operations Unit floated turning Taylor Swift into an asset during a NATO meeting. What kind of asset? A PSYOP for combating online misinformation. Listen.
What?
You came in here wanting to understand how you just go out there and counter an information operation. But the idea is that social can help encourage or promote behavior change, so potentially as like a peaceful information operation. I include Taylor Swift in here because she's she's a fairly influential online person. Wow. I don't know if you've heard of her.
Yeah, that's real. The Pentagon PSYOP unit pitched NATO on turning Taylor Swift into an asset.
See, that's what I'm saying. You have to understand. I did this video like 2 years ago that Taylor Swift was a PSYOP, that she was programmed by the government to go out and convince you to think and act and go a certain way. It's all a joke. You see it now in the Epstein files that everything's been a lie. All these people are corrupt. All these people are child molesters. All these people are drinking and eating blood. Taylor Swift's one of them. Go watch her videos. She's got the legitimate devil and evil stuff going on in her videos. Yep. Taylor Swift ain't no sweet little country star. Now, should you pray for her? Yes. Pray that she turns away from her wicked ways and turns to the Lord. But don't count the truth, the way of her being a psyop and placed by the government to be able to do what she's doing and shift your mindset towards a way of thinking. And she's done that to millions of kids and little girls. Listen, if you want your mindset free and you want more truth in your life, then I would follow or subscribe right now.
Could the Greek gods be Nephilim based off of the whole spirit thing? No. Damn it. Why? Why do you have to do this?
No. It's too much. That's a whole.
That's going to be kidding. That's open up a whole can of worms. No, but yeah, I think that's another topic we should explore.
Or if you listen to Coast AM, Nephilim or the secret oligarchy that is controlling the world, and if you only go far enough into the hollow earth or the flat earth, then you will see that, and whatever other random bullshit will make them $2 on their self-published book. I don't know.
Dude, I haven't listened to Coast since Art Bell died, so no interest.
And that's the way it should be. I have tried, and it was the most painful fucking experience I can remember.
You say that you come from a certain bloodline, and there is this obsession with bloodlines that this Brotherhood Illuminati have. Why is that?
Because what first started coming out was about the Aryans, and the purity of the blood. And what it's all about is that the blood and the menstrual blood contains something that is important for the propagation of this race that is controlling things on this planet. And these people that are in the organization that the Council of 13 is under and they have something called the Grand Druid Council or the Octagon, they're called the Illuminati. And the Illuminati are actually run by these 13 bloodlines, which are all of the royal families in Europe and in England. And they need the blood because they are, in fact, not human. They take human shape. They are reptilians. And they need the blood. The blood helps them maintain their reptilian shape, and it helps them maintain their sanity, and it helps them to live in this world because they are not from this world.
So the Cabal has made a science, a very elaborate science, out of studying these arcane, occult, magical principles that allow them to get away with what they do. Man. So they have to put out everything that tells you who they are in music videos, in these Super Bowl halftime shows, the Grammy Awards ceremonies. They're out there showing you the truth. This is what people are going to have so much trouble with once disclosure happens, is that these people actually practice black magic, and they are very, very good at it.
There are people that believe that CERN opened up multiple portals, and this is the reason why they're seeing things that they've never seen before. And I know this sounds crazy, but hear me out. It's a man saying that a tree in his front yard just appeared out of nowhere. But the crazy thing about this tree, it's identical to the tree that's next to it. Mind you, this man is saying that every day since he spotted this new tree, the tree is moving closer to his house. Oh, y'all don't believe me, right? Look at this shit.
All right.
Listen to this guy.
Fucking fishy around here, and I don't like it. This tree, I know. I know this tree well. This fucking thing, that thing is not real. That's not a real fucking tree. It's not in any of my childhood photos, and it doesn't even show up on Google Maps. On top of that, I feel like it's been getting closer to me. I fucking went out there the other night and measured it 377 feet away from me. I measured it this morning. 345 feet away from me, and the motherfucker's getting closer.
Now, you know what I always say. The simulation is simulating. But this isn't the only person that's going on with. I jumped down a rabbit hole, and there are multiple people saying that these kind of situations are happening. People are seeing doppelgangers. People are seeing items in their house that they know they only had one of. Now they have multiple. Mind you, I jumped deeper down a rabbit hole. And there is somebody saying that everything that this man is saying is true. What's really going on? I'm out.
CIA robot tree, they're watching you, man.
This is how they pulled radiation out of children's bodies after Chernobyl. Soviet scientists knew that zeolite could trap radioactive cesium and strontium. So they baked biscuits and gave them to children that were living near the fallout zone so it could pull the radiation from their body. And zeolite also grabs onto heavy metals like mercury, arsenic, lead, etc. The kinds of things that are found in chemtrails, but no biggie. These are not rare exposures. They're literally everywhere. The food, the air, the water, products that we use, cookware. Connection and association between heavy metals and cancer is insane, including from the International Agency for Research on Cancer. As a baseline, heavy metals cause inflammation in the body, and a hell of a lot of it, as well as hormonal disruption and neurological issues. Zeolite doesn't mask symptoms. It binds to the source and carries it out.
Wow. Sleep paralysis is scary. People used to explain it with the vampiric creature called Mara. Across Northern and Eastern Europe, these entities tied to one experience. Waking up and not being able to move. Pressure on your chest, something sitting on you, watching. The Mara doesn't drink blood. It drains energy.
Wow.
Night after night. Slow. Controlled. You wake up exhausted, afraid, and unsure what happened. And here's the part people ignore. Some believe that Mara was human. Someone in your village, leaving their body at night, visiting you, not randomly, but intentionally. And if that's true, then a thing draining you might not be a monster. It might be someone you know.
Brainwashed people be mad as fuck that you ain't brainwashed. You ever had a conversation with somebody that is like talking about sports, entertainment, a TV show, but when you bring up like anything that has to do with some real life shit, they are mad that you know what's going on. Why are you mad at me for being conscious? Cause you're a fucking NPC. You don't even have self-thought. People that don't have self-thought always get mad at the person who is critically thinking. It's like it irritates their soul that you're thinking outside of the box. When you say stop going to work, people get so fucking mad. It's like they want to be slaves. When you tell people that they're poisoning the food, they get fucking mad. It's like they want to keep eating the fucking poison food.
Yeah.
You tell people they're spraying the skies with chemtrails, they get furious as if they're not inhaling the fucking aluminum. People are fucking insane. And they try to make the people who actually know what's going on feel insane so they don't feel crazy, but really they're the crazy ones. We're living in a fucked up world, people. The majority of us feel like this, but don't give up. Keep going because the world will eventually catch on.
I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but since they said they're going to release the UFO files, there's been a absurd amount of high up government or just private sector scientists that study outer space and UFOs that have disappeared. Pretty wild stuff. So we got all this information. We got the Uncle Jeff files. We got the Kim Kardashian taking Selena and Justin's baby files. Now we got the UFO files. With all these good people who have been studying outer space, doing all this stuff, now they're just missing. Why? I think it's because they have a plan for what their message is going to be, and it's deceitful, and they don't want anyone or anything getting in the middle of that.
Ever since that white boy went to jail for talking to dolphins, I wouldn't have believed it if they didn't take him to jail and then kill almost 40 damn dolphins. How the fuck would y'all know he actually talked to dolphins to arrest him for talking to dolphins if you didn't see the shit? You know he talked to them bitches and that's why he's locked up. So I started to deep dive because I got a fucking brain and I use it. So I ask, why is it illegal to communicate with dolphins? Many people believe dolphins aren't just animals, but highly evolved spiritual gatekeepers. or extraterrestrial consciousness living in our oceans. They suggest that dolphins and whales are actually star seeds from the Sirius B star. That's one thing about them Africans. They know about them stars and don't nobody got a damn telescope. That's what be fucking me up. They don't even got shoes on. They know how far a fucking star is and the name of it. Here go another reason why we can't talk to them, y'all. There's a widespread belief in the New Age community that dolphin echolocation has a physical and spiritual effect on human DNA. Fuck! Some esoteric historians, esoteric means only like a specific group of people know this knowledge. Esoteric historians believe dolphins are the descendants or spiritual successors of a lost civilization of Lemuria. Lemurians were supposedly highly telepathic and lived in total harmony with nature. Fuck these guys. As their continent sank, they transferred their consciousness into the kingdom of the dolphins and whales to preserve their wisdom until humanity was evolved enough to communicate again. Evolved enough? How the fuck we supposed to evolve when they got us on Chat GPT? We're not gonna evolve because guess what, dolphins? They doing shit to our mind. They got us drinking fluoride every fucking day, calcifying our pineal gland. They fucking us up, so we can't click with y'all. We can't click and do all the clicking and do all that cool shit and all that. We don't go to jail, we talk to y'all. Then I ask, why do they use dolphins to help women give birth to a baby? Sonic scanning. The most common belief is that dolphins use their echolocation or their sonar to scan the mother and the unborn baby. Believers say dolphins are naturally attracted to high frequency vibrations of the fetal heartbeat. If a pregnant lady get in the ocean and dolphins start swarming her ass, that's them dolphins baby now. They the daddy now. They claim the dolphin sonar can detect complications or even help retune the baby's nervous system during the stress of labor. Motherfuckers. And before I close out, I just want y'all to know that dolphins are essentially the aliens of the ocean. Their intelligence is so sophisticated and different from ours, many scientists argue that they should legally be classified as non-human persons. Long live Gerald, man. Free that white man. Them motherfuckers stole him and they did make him build fucking condo.
Man, I want me some dolphins.
You guys, Apple has just released a digital ID for identification and U.S. passports.
What?
Here we go. Now, reports say they will be merging their biometric security with encrypted ID storage and plans to replace your physical IDs across airports, apps, and businesses. Why don't I like this? They also said this is going to be used at over 250 TSA checkpoints across domestic airports for identity verification. Now, remember I told you guys about one of the richest men on earth, Larry Ellison, who owns TikTok and Oracle and who's a big fan of digital IDs? Well, it seems like one big master plan between all the big tech companies. You have Microsoft dealing with OpenAI dealing with NVIDIA dealing with Oracle, xAI dealing with NVIDIA, and not to mention, OpenAI just did a $38 billion deal with Amazon for cloud storage. So the question is, what are they really planning? Well, I may have some answers. Could it be that they're following in the footsteps of China's Skynet, which is tied to digital IDs, a social credit score, and an AI surveillance system that they actually want to put on the moon? Skynet, huh? Why does this sound familiar? That's because it's the same name as the killer artificial intelligence in Terminator, Skynet. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. It's always in the movies. Make sure you guys go to my YouTube, Maverick Approach, where I do more breakdowns on this, but let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
Man, everyone has to refuse. This is their end game.
So I just smoked. So when I saw this, I said, hold on, now I could be tripping. Let me make sure everybody else can see this because I could be tripping. Congressman Tim, little skinny head ass, says aliens could be stationed in 5 or 6 underwater bases off the U.S. coast. And he also snitched on one of them Navy admirals and said he saw too. I'm about to start crashing out. By this time, everybody should know aliens real. I mean, come on. These niggas got 5 or 6.
Demons,
it's 5 we know of, but we think it's one that we don't know about. Underwater stations. You talking about the same underwater y'all only know 5% about? We're fucked. Do anybody know what they be doing down there? I feel so bad for them damn fish. Them fish probably seeing all type of shit down there. But y'all see how he snitched on that admiral though? He said, and if y'all think I'm capping, hey, come here, bruh. Admiral. Hey, can you get the admiral real quick? They better not try to get me. I'm telling you right now. This gonna be the worst shit an alien ever fucking ran into in his motherfucking life. I'm gonna bite their ass. Yeah. If they got bones, I'm gonna try to break them bitches. I'm gonna punch them motherfuckers with 2 fists. It ain't no beef or nothing like that, but I just don't know how I'm gonna react if I see some shit like an alien, bro. All those people that was saying they was getting abducted, everybody was saying they was lying. They really got stole. Y'all ain't shit.
Black nobility families. There are 22 of them. The Venetians have been up to no good for 800 years now. They're vampires. That's it. And they eat our babies. They take the placenta and the umbilical cords from the military hospitals, and then they jab them with 140 poisons and try to stop them from ascending. They're murderers. All the bloodshed that is happening goes back to these Venetian vampires.
Is the Grey Pope still active? And does he actually give the Jesuits their instructions? Or is it beyond that?
Yes, he does, but no one really knows. Yes, he's got power, and yes, he does pull the strings of the superior general of the Jesuits, who is the Black Pope, and the Jesuit White Pope, because they are Jesuits now, and they're not supposed to be popes. It's a council of 300. It can't be one man. There are 300, I wouldn't say men, I think they're trannies, and they're actually women who pretend to be men who run the world.
Galatians has got to be the scariest book in the Bible, y'all. A place you're not going to catch me on this earth when Jesus comes back. Because when y'all hear about the things that are going to go on during the tribulation, you're going to be shaking in your boots. I promise you. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about the 7th trumpet in the book of Revelation. This is during the time that the Antichrist is reigning on earth and people have been offered the mark of the beast. Antichrist will reign for 7 years before the second coming of Jesus. The first trumpet will bring hail, fire, and blood that will rain down from the sky and burn a third of the trees and the grass. Second trumpet will bring a burning mountain that is thrown into the sea that will unalive a third of the sea creatures. Mind you, that's taking away a big food source for the earth. Third trumpet will bring burning stars that will fall from heaven, poisoning a third of the rivers and springs and unaliving many people. With the fourth trumpet, the sun, moon, and stars will darken, taking away a third of the daytime. The fifth trumpet will bring demon-like locusts that come from the abyss and torment anyone without God's seal. Y'all, the sixth trumpet has got to be the scariest one for me because that's the one where the 4 fallen angels at the bottom of the Euphrates River will be released to unalive a third of mankind with 200 demonic horsemen behind them. And that is what the Bible means by we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against rulers of the darkness. Y'all know the rest. Whew. Then the 7th trumpet comes, where loud voices come from heaven declaring God's reign and the end of the evil on this earth. Y'all, Revelation, I am so good. It's a no for me. It even says in that book that no matter what people do, they will not be able to unalive themselves. Like, they're going to have to stay on the earth and suffer, which low-key makes me wonder if it's going to be zombies on the earth. Because if people seek unaliving but they can't find it, that basically means it's going to be the Walking Dead up in here. Baby, my name is not Rick Grimes or Michonne. You won't find me here. Okay? As always, make sure you guys like and follow and comment down below if you want a part 2.
I'm with you, sister. They won't find me here.
Explain the nuttiness of the Book of Enoch to people.
Well, it's okay. So if you read it, it talks about the fall of angels, thus creating really the precursor of civilization that led to the first flood. I think that when you even go into potentially the technology that was given to mankind by these angels, it talks about the hidden beliefs and theories in astronomy, etc., metalworkings, all of it. But it really does explain, you know, you were talking about earlier how you have a lot of these religions around the world that kind of say the same thing. This is kind of the OG text that leads to those stories that we're hearing from many religions around the world. To talk about angels mixing with mankind and then seeding a super essentially race of humans that essentially were responsible for basically damning mankind to the flood. I mean, you hear about stuff in Greek and Roman mythology, people who had these super crazy powers, and you talk about it out loud and it sounds crazy, but that's what the book says. And then the fact that it was taken out and then it's poo-pooed, yet you have one of the oldest religions in the world via the Ethiopians that actually still have it. You have, you know, the Catholic Church that has books that are missing out of the King James Version. I'm just saying that, you know, when you read it, you should read it and decide for yourself. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Don't listen to what you're saying, but truly give it a chance and see what you have to say. And then, you know, you're going back to this whole concept of if you have this information pertaining to UAPs, whatever they might be, the origins. I mean, if you have a understanding of what Enoch was talking about, kind of makes sense.
the really old stuff is very strange.
The I'm telling you, the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible, I actually had a staffer that went to Ethiopia. She was on a church trip, and she actually brought me back a copy, and she's like, you can translate it via Google Translation. So kudos to modern day technology. So I have it in my office. And actually, when I did my swearing in, I actually did my swearing in on the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible.
Wow.
It's cool. It's direct translation.
That's kind of crazy. This is nuts.
I think we're probably going to be responsible for the Book of Enoch sales probably increasing on Amazon.
Well, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. I need to read it now.
You'll trip out if you read Enoch and then follow about the fall of mankind and the angels with, and this is Christian theology, right? So angels came down, rebelled against God, interbred with humankind. That would be, I think, a good starting point for what potentially the Anunnaki were.
This is a congresswoman, right?
And so what are psionic assets?
When we look at collecting data, one of the areas that we look to collect data is through a psionic asset, which is an individual who's trained in remote viewing, psychic abilities, telekinesis, that type of thing, which is basically through a number of different protocols can transition into a place where they are highly sensitive to their environment. We use it. And it's worked it's used both on the summoning side and the data collection side.
So you're saying humans summon these UAPs?
Humans. There are two types of summoning, machine-based summoning systems, and there's man-based summoning systems. In order to be effective at serving as a PA, you can think of consciousness as a field. It's literally like the World Wide Web. So individuals that have this gift are people that have been trained and have the talent to serve as a Wi-Fi to tap into the consciousness field where everything in the universe seems to exist or have its presence. And once you can do that, now you're in an environment where while we're having other multiple forms of sensor data in place, if a UAP shows up, is it registering in the consciousness field that our PA asset is connected to through the Wi-Fi? And the Wi-Fi is this process of getting into mindful meditation.
They lied to us and said that angels look like this and demons look like this. You ever watch those old cartoons when they put a demon on this shoulder and an angel on that shoulder and they whisper to you? They lied to us because they don't want us to understand that we are really angels and demons. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. You should never sleep with TVs, cell phones, or mirrors in your bedroom. Once again, we are really angels and demons. Every time we go to sleep, our spiritual body leaves our physical body and it starts to travel. When our mother was pregnant, we traveled inside of her womb in water for 10 months. When we go to sleep, our spirit travels through water. TVs, mirrors, and cell phones look like water. When I say it look like water, I'm speaking about a reflection. That's why you should always keep a glass of water under your bed. Your bed is a bridge for your spiritual body can travel different worlds. If you keep water under your bed, it represents a bridge where you can travel back and forth to different dimensions. But if you have TVs or mirrors in your bedroom, you could be trapped inside of a false reality. Or I should say demons can interact with your spirit while you are resting. When we are born into this world, we have a placenta and an umbilical cord. But we still walk around with the spiritual cord every day. When you go to sleep, this is your safety cord. If you go too far out, you can be stuck. Remember, we are angels and demons. What do that really mean? When we go to sleep, our spirit travels this physical world. We have good people in the world and we have bad people in the world. So anytime someone bad go to sleep, their spirit leaves their body and they do nothing but chaos in the matrix. When good people go to sleep, we leave our physical body and we do miracles and help people in the spiritual world. The real spiritual battle is between good people and bad people. Angels don't look like this. Demons don't look like this. It's all about good people and bad people. Good energy, bad energy. Hollywood programmed us, but they lied. They know if you keep TVs, mirrors, and cell phones in your room, you will be trapped in a fake world. Therefore, you cannot travel and help people in the matrix.
I have Christ the Lord with me. By the way, I have mirror in my room. Who doesn't?
When I tell you guys that this country was founded on and is run by reptiles and they throw it right in your face, let's go down this little money rabbit hole again. And I'm here to tell you this hits a lot differently when you know the truth. Because when I say this is all orchestrated and they knew exactly what they were doing from the get-go, don't tell me it's a coincidence that you have the twin towers on this one. You flip it over and you have the Pentagon burning down on the other side. And the dollar sign itself is the serpent and staff, guys. I'm going to keep going so you guys can really see what I'm saying. I show you guys images like this that go viral. And they show you the snake rattler right on the $1 bill. They hide it in plain sight. You see that the dollar has the reptile scales all over it. That's what they're made of. And if you've ever ran your finger over the collars of these presidents on our money, it literally feels like scales. I show you guys the NASA logo with the serpent tongue and people still be chilling. But remember, the serpent never speaks, guys, because he is the deceiver. Because when you wake up and learn that people worship this money more than themselves, more than anything else on earth, you see why Lucifer uses this against us and teaches us that this is not the answer. And money itself is not the root of all evil, guys, but the love of money is the root of all evil. So just know the facts. And when we tell you that these damn reptiles are right in plain sight, this is just like Men in Black, fam. I'm here to tell you these fools are wearing masks. They're shape-shifting. They're doing all of the above. And yes, you can even tie in 2020 as well as the Twin Towers and all of these pandemics that they orchestrate because homie is wearing a mask here, whether you can see it or not. Because they do this to relinquish their karma. They do this to mock us. They put it all right in our face, guys. Even though it can be a rabbit hole to get there, the clues and the Easter eggs are truly here. Look at the alien reptoid. They even put the coin coincidences out here with the bat on the 2020 quarter, guys. And we know they've got the all-seeing eye up here, guys. And we know that there's ties into other conspiracies like the flat hollow earth. I know it's out there. But when you've been down the rabbit holes like me and you have the eyes to see and you connect the dots and you put in the work, you can't unsee it. You can't unlearn it. And I'm telling you, the devil himself is on all of the currencies, not just in America. He's putting himself out there. It takes a certain eye to see it. But when you start to wake up and you clarify your pineal gland, you can't unsee it. This red devil head right on the side of her head, coincidence, right? And you simply flip over the $2 bill to reveal these founding fathers with hollow eyes and scales galore. I'm here to tell you, this is not coincidence, guys. The money rabbit holes go infinitely. There are literally infinite rabbit holes, such as this hidden spider and the spider webs. It goes and goes. I can make a 50-minute video just about the rabbit holes on this money alone, guys. I'm just trying to raise awareness so you see the truth and the proof that they put right in our faces so we learn our lessons and go from there, fam. Like I said, guys, the money isn't about being the root of all evil, but it is about the worshiping of the money over everything else is the biggest demise of humanity. So just learn the facts and go from there. Like I said, take this truth and this proof, do what you want, like and share the video or swipe my videos, do what you need to do, fam. For the rest of y'all, much love and good luck.
What the hell is going on, America? This is good. Someone tell me, please. If you want to know the irony in what I'm about to tell you, click on this comment and it'll take you directly to that video. Now you're probably wondering, why are you doing a video reply on the topic of Britney Spears when this comment was on a video about Charlie Kirk? Let me explain. Yesterday, I made a post on Facebook and Instagram. In this post, all I'm doing is literally reiterating claims that Candace Owens is making. Just the fact that Erica and Charlie Kirk were devoted members of Calvary Chapel Brentwood Church. The pastor of that church is Rob Taylor. His wife is Lou Taylor. Sound familiar? Now, it's alleged that Lou Taylor, Britney Spears' ex-manager, funneled 10% of her earnings from the conservatorship to the church. So what Candace is basically claiming is that Britney Spears funded the church that Erica, Kirk, and Charlie were members of. And it looks a little bit more sus considering that Jamie Spears, Britney's father, was baptized with Lou Taylor by Rob Taylor, her husband. This is where things get even weirder, at least for me. Last night I get back on Instagram to check who liked the video, the comments on the video, and who do I see? Brittany Aldean. Now, it really made me wonder, why would Jason Aldean's wife, Brittany, like a post like that? The kind of things that make you go, Now, there's actually a lot more to a Christian or 70th birthday party guest list, aside from Lou Taylor. There was a lot of symbolism that people missed, and those that attended that correlated to the symbolism. But for that, you'll have to let me know if you even want a part 2. Might be worth it.
So this may be why there's such an attack on our bees.
The beautiful thing is, God created a remedy for everything that was done and that has been done with us. Bee pollen, the molecular level is called glucose oxidase. God.
Wow. God.
It's the God molecule. And guess what bee pollen does? Glucose oxidase does. not only disengages graphene oxide in your body, but it cleanses. So this is why they go after the bees. Exactly. This is why they've been after our bees for so long. Wow. And they've even fine-tuned ingredients to distract the bees and really mess up their natural status, especially with the heavy metals, aluminum specifically, and the graphene.
So shadow figures. I know you've seen a few.
I have. My brother actually has one in his house.
Oh,
I've seen some. Didn't
say
scare
that like
me.
it's a dog.
My brother has a townhouse, okay? And there's a staircase that goes like this. There's a landing and then down like that. It like stands at the top and it watches down. That or it'll stand on landing and it watches. And I'm like, dude, it's watching me. He's like, he's not hurting you. It's fine.
Hold on. So he's cool with it?
Oh, yeah. My whole family has seen it.
What you think they are?
Some of them could be spirits that can't take any.
You need to rebuke it in the name of Jesus.
Could they be demonic? Sure.
Anybody at home, if y'all seen shadow figures, let me know.
And let us know your experiences, because I'm going to be watching.
Something is off. What is Donald Trump doing? Did you guys hear about this? So last night, Donald Trump posted this video of Frank Sinatra's song My Way with the lyrics that say, "And now the end is near." The lyrics say the end is near. What is Donald Trump trying to say here? Do you guys realize what this means? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't. But here's what I do know. The end is near. Jesus is coming back. But if you're on Team Jesus, it's not the end. It's the beginning of forever. If you've read the Bible, you would know the end is near. And I'm not saying this to scare people. I'm saying this to wake people up. Everything Jesus said would happen right before he comes back is literally happening right in front of our eyes. And we are in the last second of the last days. And I have bad news. Times will get harder. The world will get darker. But I also have the greatest news of all time. Jesus Christ is coming back. And if you're not on Team Jesus, there's no other way to put it than you're cooked. You need to get on Team Jesus. And I say that in the most loving way possible. Jesus said he is the way, the truth, and the life. He didn't say he's a way, part of the truth, and some of the life. He said he's the only way. There's only one way to heaven. There's only one winning team, and it's Team Jesus. And he's coming back so soon. I don't care if I look crazy. They thought Noah was crazy until it started to rain. And Jesus said the last days would be like the days of Noah, where people are just eating and drinking and going on about their everyday life. And then boom, that sky cracks open. Jesus comes back and everybody's gangster until Jesus comes back. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. If it sounds like I'm being hateful, that's because the truth sounds like hate to those who hate the truth. Jesus didn't say be scared of his return. He said be prepared. He said when you see these signs, look up, because your redemption is drawing near. So yes, the end is near. But if you're on Team Jesus, the end is just the beginning of forever. But anyways, I'm done yapping. Who else is on Team Jesus? Comment down below. I'm on Team Jesus. Can I get a A? Man.
Okay, so now
I'm on Team Jesus.
now that
Who
we all
else?
know that the elite are straight up cannibalistic devil worshippers who use occult black magic in order to gain power and control, let's talk about the supernatural powers that this gives them. Because I'm starting to think that these motherfuckers have the ability to straight up time travel and go back into the past and implant things into people's memories and fuck with the fabric of reality so that they can avoid karmic retribution by actively preempting and telling us exactly what they're going to do. Now, a super lighthearted example of this is the Mandela effect, which we've all heard about, which basically gaslights us into thinking that the past is different than what we all collectively remember it as. But it goes so much deeper than that, you guys. Like, honestly, just watch this video that perfectly explains the Charlie Kirk assassination, and this was predicted years ago.
They told you the Charlie Kirk tragedy was a one-off? Well, it wasn't. It's been played before, like literally frame for frame. Go back to 1998, a Nicolas Cage movie called Snake Eyes. In that film, a political figure named Charles Kirkland, yeah, that's his actual name, gets shot in the neck by a sniper at a public event. Same wound, same setting, same everything. Opening scene, there's a banner for the event. Date, September 10th, same day. The event itself, a boxing match headlined by a fighter called Tyler the Executioner. In real life, Tyler Robinson is accused of being the executioner. Coincidence?
And I'm sure you've all heard about the books about the adventures of Little Baron Trump, which perfectly predict the rise of Donald Trump and his family. One of these books is literally called The Last President. The books are literally about him becoming a controversial president. One of the books talks about these underground tunnels that they can use to access different dimensions. Now, these are just some of many examples that I could name, but through my years of studying esoteric knowledge, I have this firm belief that time isn't linear the way that we perceive it, which means that if these elites are studying this occult knowledge, they have more than likely passed down this information through generations, and they have the knowledge in order to be able to manipulate time and manipulate reality and be able to go back and change certain things and shift the collective timeline. Like, I would not be surprised. So you guys, I don't know, just let me know what you think in the comments. Because am I crazy or am I actually onto something?
Do y'all see what's going on here?
You're onto something.
This AI shit is about to get out of hand. And social media is about to use your face and your likeness without your consent. Tell me what this is right here. TikTok just launched this AI cast feature. And guess what they're about to do with it? Once you agree to this right here, you basically agree to be replaced. That feature gives them the power to make AI versions of you. Your face, your likeness. They can create videos without you, of you. We're talking about small creators. We're talking about big creators. We're talking about anybody that clicks that AI cast button. Mind you, this feature allows you to take anyone, and I mean anyone, and put them in a video, making them do anything you want them to do. You give a prompt, and AI does the rest. They will have you scan your face, create an AI persona. I need you to read this right here. Read that. If they could do this, that means that they can relieve you of your services, meaning they don't need you to make content. The content that you make, they can make with you, by you, but not you, using AI. Ever since they sold TikTok, TikTok ain't been the same. I keep telling y'all, AI is not what you think it is. And soon, with features like this, across all apps, they're not going to need you to be you. They're just going to be you for you. Pay attention.
So
there's the new black male.
The biggest move in real estate has just went down and nobody's talking about it. Let's get into it. Now, you may or may not have heard of this little entity called Fannie Mae, which is a government-backed enterprise. Well, guess what? They just took a leap into innovation by now accepting crypto-backed mortgages. Now, for context on how they work, they actually buy mortgages, then package those up into mortgage-backed securities, and then sells them to investors. And just to give you a glimpse of how major this is, they actually hold $4.3 trillion in assets. Now, why would you use crypto if it's so volatile, and why is this important at all? Well, for one, you can actually use your crypto without selling it, creating a taxable event, using that towards your down payment or on your mortgage, and even use stable coins so the price stays the same no matter what. Remember that one time where they said crypto was a scam and it would never be mainstream? Well, I hate to say I told you so, but yeah, I told you so. Now, here's a rundown on how it works. You deposit your crypto collateral, then obtain your loan proceeds, then pay back your crypto loan, then receive your crypto collateral back after payment. But it gets even bigger. You guys, remember I told you about the DTCC, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, which is actually the back office for the stock exchange. And I told you about the part where they got greenlit for tokenization, which is fractionalized investments on blockchain. Well, they also have a division that directly aligns with this whole thing, a mortgage-backed securities division, which means they'll be tokenizing those, which aligns with crypto-backed mortgages. Are we starting to see what's happening here? I'll say it once and I'll say it again. This is the biggest wealth transfer we'll see in our lifetime. Make sure you guys get into my Break the Matrix community where I teach you crypto, tokenization, and more. And let me know what you guys are doing. Are you guys sitting on the sidelines on this one, or are you jumping in? Let me know below.
I've been buying XRP since it was 30 cents.
The Willow AI chip by Google. Joe Rogan talked about this. It's a computer chip. It can travel to different dimensions and process calculations faster just because it doesn't think like the human mind. It's like a quantum computer.
So it can think ahead?
Yes.
Oh,
and it can do calculations faster.
In benchmark tests, Willow solved a standard computation in less than 5 minutes that would take a leading supercomputer over 10 septillion years to solve, far beyond the age of the universe.
But one thing that you talked about, remember that aliens spotted in the Miami Strip?
Yeah.
This is crazy. They're saying that theory, the only reason why that happened was because they tested that chip on the same day.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, as the Miami incident.
Oh, what
So
the
they're
hell?
saying if you can jump dimensions, it just opened a little portal. Other things came into the real world, and that's why they can't explain it. Why do you think it's not covered? Because, Miami doesn't know what the hell that is, and it just disappeared right away. Maybe that's because the computer right after closed. That's all that it needed.
Oh.